All right. Hey, man. And whoever else is watching, notice that I've got more subscribers than I know who they are. So I've got a couple people watching, I guess, that I don't know. Hi, welcome. I'm Kuzil. I'm making these mostly for my brother, in case you were wondering who I was talking to. My older brother loves Minecraft, as does my dad, as does my nephews, as does really most of the world. I realize I'm not, like Etho or whoever else on YouTube. That's amazing, but I'm having fun. I'm making these. This is my own special mod pack that I made. In case you've missed that up until now. But anyway, so I have been working just a little bit on my chicken coop. This is where I'm going to put my chickens. Just a little bit. So I've made room to set them up so that we can automate them. Chickens are going to go here. Automation system's going to go behind it. I probably will have maybe 3 levels of chickens. I don't know if there's that many chickens. But we've got space for them regardless. And over here, I'll just look at my map instead of taking you over there. I have a spot where I think I'm going to do my animal husbandry in here. Either that or I'll put bees. And then once I tear all this down, I can make like a larger animal pen. So probably similar to this one. I have no idea which one will take more space. Bees are a little bit more compact because I can stick them into their hives. And once I get gendistry going, that will compact the system quite a lot. So, and then of course, yeah. So those are our 4 major farm systems that we're going to be working on: chickens, agriculture, probably. I'm trying to think of the term for beekeeping. It'll come to me, and then animal keeping over here, animal husbandry. So you would say apiarist, but I don't think that's it. There is the chest that holds the bees is the thing that's named after. So let's do forestry, and let's look for the bee chest because I think it's called. Oh, man, it's on the tip of my tongue. That's so frustrating. Here we go. Lepidopterist. No, that's the Lepidopterist is butterflies. But that's the word I was thinking of. It is apiarist. Okay, so butterflies. I don't know how we're going to get into butterflies. Maybe eventually we'll have, once I get the animal farm set up here, maybe we can do a tree, like an arboretum over here or something. Yeah. So, okay. Today's episode, I would like to introduce you to XNet and how to use XNet and all of the things that have to do with XNet. But first, I would like to show you what to do with lava eggs. What you do not want to do, like I did, is right-click with it because it will place the lava block right there. And lava will go everywhere and burn down your house. Don't do that. Grab a bucket first, at the very least. And then it doesn't really matter where you put it. Well, let's make an empty bucket here. Okay, so then it doesn't really matter where you put it because you just pick it up. And it doesn't burn anything down. So that's really cool. So we do have access to lava, which is awesome. So now we can use our smeltery again. It's really slow. I think I waited for an entire render session of a video and got 5, I think. So that's okay. It's going to be something that I can probably just leave overnight and it will be fine. I did create a block placer, put a bunch of blocks in here. And, excuse me, I just had lunch. And it will place the blocks out here. And then the fluid extractors will pull it out into here like we've seen before. I did also change this. So I added another fluid extractor and put the fluid transfer nodes on top. The transfer pipe connects to the furnace generator, but we don't really need to worry about that because the fluid can't go in here, so it's not a big deal. This, however, is chock-a-blocked full of tiny rubber. So I'm going to pull all this out, and it's going to fill it back up again, which is really nice. So I can make as many of these machines as I want, which is great. There we go. Let's grab some charcoal and go fill up that real quick. I've been making more charcoal just because it's an easy thing that I have lots of. Okay, XNet. What is XNet all about? And why are we getting into it? Well, XNet is a way to interact with other machines, other blocks, other objects in a very specific way. We can be very specific with how we interact with things and move things around, and it's fantastic. Okay. So to start with, we're going to need a controller, and we're going to need power. So what I'd like to make is a generator that we haven't made yet. Maybe. Let's try. No. Let's try a coal generator from RF Tools. We haven't tried this one yet. And I'm not going to have those, so let's make those, 2 of these. Actually, let's grab just a bunch of those because we're going to need them. Okay, so we've got a coal generator, and I don't believe it will take charcoal. I think it only takes coal. It's one of those specific ones. It's kind of weird. So, but it generates a lot of RF. It's really nice. So back to XNet. And we're going to play around with a couple of chests and move items around. And then I'm going to go and attach it to our plastics maker, because there's already a generator over there, and show you how we can manipulate not only items but fluids within the same system, which is really cool. And power. It's really powerful. It's kind of complicated, but I promise I will walk you through it. As always. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is make this controller. We're going to need 2 of these repeaters. Shoot. A comparator. Oh, I don't have enough stone. That's a bummer. Okay, well let's just go craft a bunch of stone. Actually, I just need 1 for now. We can cook up the rest of this. I don't know how much we're gonna need, but there you go. I've been using a lot of cobblestone and laying out my designs for the other things. Okay, so we can make that. And then we also need 1 of these. Okay, so there's our controller. And then we're going to need connectors. These are all different colors, but if you look at the, like let's say the yellow connector, for example, it's going to just tell you, hey, use a connector, and eventually you'll get to this recipe here. Instead of using lapis, because I don't think I have a lot of lapis, I do have a lot more blue dye. So let's get 20 blue dye. And remember, we're going to need a pestle and mortar. So first of all, we take and make these into petals, and then we can turn them into the blue dye. Okay, and I believe we've got everything else. So instead of lapis, I'd like to use these. Oh, and I'm out of redstone. Are you kidding? Again? So much redstone. I need a redstone chicken. And there is that. I'm going to make, let's see. I'm going to make, how many do I want? So eventually I'm going to need, okay, let's just count. Whoa, the lag. The lag on a single player server. That's amazing. I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think That will be enough. Maybe we can get by with less. I don't know if I have enough to make 6. But we also need to make these cables here. And cables take redstone. So let's make just 16 of those. And then let's make as many of these as we can. Looks like I can make 4 more. Okay, we'll make do with 5. But for now, let's put down our controller. And we'll put down a couple chests. Okay, those are the 3 things you need. You need a network cable, you need a connector, and you need the controller. Okay, and that's it. That's your system. So I'm going to put a chest here, and I would like a different kind of chest. A different kind of inventory. Well, let's just make it an iron chest. I'll probably use it anyway at some point down the road. In fact, I'm sure I'm going to use it at some point down the road. So if you have it so where these stacks are all like this, just hit compact equal stacks here, and it will, because I have a habit of just doing that, and it doesn't automatically compact your stacks. So when you're here and you have 300 stacks, just hit compact stacks and you probably have a couple more spaces. So, all right, let's get rid of that. And we'll put our iron chest over, it doesn't matter, we'll just put it here. Okay, so I'm going to put a connector on each of these. Okay, and we don't need cabling because the connectors actually connect to each other. And then we're going to need a power source because when I right click on this, there's not anything happening right now. And if I were to configure this already, we wouldn't be able to do much with it. So what I could do is I could get another connector and grab power here, but I don't need to since it's adjacent to it. And I don't think I can put, oh, I can put charcoal in there. That's amazing. Okay, I hope that that's a recent change and I just haven't been missing that this whole time. But this thing produces 60 RF per tick, which is a lot. But what you got to be careful with is that this will, when the energy is full, at least in the previous versions, this continued to consume charcoal at a rate of 60 RF per tick, whether you're spending that RF or not. I'm interested to see if they finally fix that because that's so broken in a bad way. Like that can get rid of a lot of stuff. And that kind of makes the coal generator, maybe it makes it balanced because it produces a lot of power in comparison to the other basic generators. But it also consumes all of your stuff, which it makes it hard to automate. Okay, now that we've got power in here, let's put some items in this chest here. We're going to put flint in here for now, and we'll put the bucket in there just so we have more than one thing to check. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a channel. You're going to do that by clicking on one of these 8 channels, and then you're going to tell it what you want it to work with. So we want it to work with, I'll just roll through them here. So there's energy that uses RF, logic, storage, items is what we're going to be using here, fluids, and then energy again. So we're going to use items, and we're going to create that, and that's going to start it. Now if we wanted to stop it, we would disable this processing of this channel. So it's not going to work while this is not on. We can name this channel move stuff if we wanted to. That's just for us to keep track of what these channels are for. Anyway, I'm going to be able to keep track of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this here, the specific chest that we know that our items are in. We're going to hit create. And we're going to just kind of not pay attention to any of this because for right now, this doesn't matter as much. It will later when we upgrade to the advanced blue connectors. So we're just going to take a connector, give an ender pearl, diamond, and it's going to give us some more options. Specifically, this section right here is what we're going to be able to manipulate with these advanced blue connectors, and we do want those, especially for furnaces. In fact, as a matter of example, let's make one. Okay, And then let's grab this furnace. So right now, I think I've explained this to my brother before, but I don't know if whoever else is watching has learned this about furnaces, vanilla furnaces. You can only feed items into this slot from the top. You can only feed items into this slot from any of the sides, and you can only retrieve items from this slot from the bottom. So if I were to try and feed, it went in here, furnace. So for example, I wanted to try and feed with a, I'm just going to put the advanced connector here just because I'm going to use it. If I were to try and feed coal or charcoal into the bottom slot here, that would work. If I were to try and put something to cook up here, that would not work. Okay, but we're gonna do it anyway because that's what XNet does. Oh, a little bit of lag. Let me have in there. Okay, and then to retrieve items back out of the slot, that would not work normally. Okay, but again, that's what XNet does. Okay, so we're going to extract items from this chest. Okay, E for extract, I for insert, and we're going to extract a single item for now. And then this, if you guys know about ticks, there's 20 ticks per second. So if we wanted to really slow it down, we could do that. The fastest it can go is half a second, every half a second. We could do a whole stack if we wanted to. That would take more power to run, but when you're using the system, don't really worry about power because I don't believe that the requirements are that large. We could set priorities. We could tell it to keep at least one. I'm not going to do any of that. There's blacklist. We can whitelist. We can set or dictionary, metadata, NVT data, all that stuff. We're not going to mess with that. Okay. So for now, all I want it to do is I want it to take the flint from, oops, give me that back. I want it to take the flint from this chest and stick it into this chest. Okay. And we want it to do that at whatever the default rate is, which is a single item every half second. That's fine. So to do that, we have the operation to extract, and I want it to extract specifically just flint. Now, if I didn't have any items in here, it would extract everything that's in the chest. Okay. If I wanted to blacklist, I could blacklist flint and it would extract everything except flint. That's what blacklist means. Okay. But since I want it to only take flint, I'm going to put flint in there. It doesn't consume my item. And it will only pull flint. Okay. So then we're going to come down to this chest here. We're going to select this block, which is part of this operation, and we're going to hit create. Okay. Now we're going to keep it as insert, and we're going to leave everything else default, right? We can't really, when you insert something, you're kind of at the mercy of whatever your extract operation is. So we can't say insert a whole stack because it's only pulling out a single item at a time. Now if I were to change this to stack, it wouldn't matter over here because it's only inserting what's being extracted. Does that make sense? It should. Okay, and if you wanted to be real specific with it, I could say insert only flint. So for example, let's say that, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so I'm just going to say, since I'm only extracting flint, I don't need to specify what I'm putting into this diamond chest because, or I'm sorry, iron chest, because only flint is being extracted. I could be double redundant and say only put flint in here, but okay. So for now, remember I turned that channel off, so it should not be working. So I should look in here and I shouldn't see any flint. Okay, so now let's turn this channel on. You select the channel and make sure that there's a V here. And now it's putting items, it's taking items from this and putting it into here at the rate of every half a second. So if I were to stick them back in here, every time that item showed up in this chest, this is working to put those items into this chest. Okay, very cool. So now let's look at our furnace. Okay, what I want to do is I want to be able to take items from this brown chest, stick them into the furnace for cooking, take the items from the furnace and stick them into the diamond chest. Sounds complicated. Let's check it out. Okay, so we're going to go into items here, right? We want to manipulate items. We're going to create a channel, turn it off so that it's not working without us wanting to. And we're going to extract from this chest. Remember, we just talk it through. We're going to take items from a specific chest and insert it into the furnace in a specific way. And then we want to take items from that furnace and put it into another chest. So that's the order of operations we're going to work with here. Okay, so we're going to extract charcoal rather, and wood. Since there's going to be multiple things in that chest, I want to make sure that when I'm extracting, I'm only extracting the things that that make sense, right? So if you leave your extract operation blank, you run into the danger, I think, of maybe missing your insert operations and defining what's in there, although that's not always a bad thing. Okay, so if I were to, for example, run an extract off of this, right, and then insert into here, we could leave both of these blank, and then, or let's say that I'm pulling out of the furnace, and I want to put some into here and some into here. I would leave this blank as an example, and then I define what I want put in here and what I want put in here. But for now, we want to specifically say I'm pulling out wood and charcoal from the wooden chest for now. Okay, so now when we come into our the furnace, and just to clarify, these connectors are what gives us the ability to see them on here. So if I were to take this off and put a connector here, this would not show up anymore on the list. Okay, when your connectors are attached to, and I want the advanced connector here, attached to a block, that's what makes it show up here, in case you were wondering. I probably should have clarified that. Okay, so I want to create, and here is where we're going to, actually I want to take that away. Okay, so when we're inserting here, we're going to insert charcoal, and we're going to need to go from any of the directions. If we were to go from the downside, if we were to go from the upside, it would not work. So let's just go north. That's fine. It doesn't matter. And we're going to insert at whatever rate, priority. That's fine. So right now we're only selecting coal. We did take out the wood because we're going to move that to a different operation. So yeah, we're going to turn this on. Now it should be taking coal out of here and sticking it into the side, which is where our charcoal comes in. Okay. Now we're going to create another one just to keep it simple, right? And we're going to extract from here. We're going to extract wood, and then we're going to insert on the top side. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure the way this is worded up. I'm not sure if we're looking up at the bottom or if we're looking up. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay. So that's redundant. I don't need that. And then we're just going to let that go. Okay, so that worked. I forgot to turn it off. Anyway, okay, so we have this as a, just, I kind of flew through that. Item, green is item, in case you were wondering. We're pulling out a single item every half second from the brown chest, or from the wooden chest. We're extracting wood, and we're inserting that extraction into the upside of the block up here. Okay, so I can stick these in here, and they should be extracted and pulled into here. Now what I want to do is I want to take charcoal, specifically charcoal, from the bottom side. If I take it from any of the sides of this block, it's going to pull out my fuel, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so what I would like to do is let's create another one. We're going to do item, create, and this time we're going to extract from here. And we're going to extract from the side. Let's turn this off. And we're going to extract charcoal. And we're going to do something, let's put it back into here, right? Because we're extracting charcoal here. So let's insert it back into this one. Okay, so now it should be, once I enable it, it should take the 9. So we have 48 here. It's probably just going to go straight into here, actually. So let's enable this and watch it. Aha. See what we did wrong there? So let's turn it off. And we are extracting from this side. I don't know if you caught that, but we want to extract from the downside. Okay, so let's turn it back on. And we should watch this now come out, and this will go up. Because we're pulling from the chest that the charcoal's in. So now it's feeding itself, right? Now this furnace will always stay full. And if I wanted to, I could take and stick more wood in here. Now the other cool thing what I could do is I could put a connector here, which I have, right? Come back in here and say I want to not only extract from yes, we're going to do that, and then I'm going to extract charcoal from here, and then I'm also going to insert it into my coal generator, which is now available for me. Okay, so now once this is full and we're creating coal, this should go up. Yeah, so now we have a fully modified, fully automated system. So where I have my wood is being pulled from here, put into the furnace. The furnace is making charcoal, which is being put back into the chest. That charcoal is then being pulled out and put into the furnace and then into the coal generator. Cool, huh? So that's just 4 operations, and it's just with manipulating items. That's XNet at the most basic item manipulation, okay? With a little bit of advanced operations with the furnace here. Okay, so the next thing what I would like to do is I would like to convert this system over here into XNet. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to, if I think about it, right, I'm going to need a connector on our generator. I'm going to need a connector here. And I'm going to need a connector here. That way the connector will attach to both of these. One connector will attach to both of these. And then if I wanted to, I could move this around to one side over here. Actually, I could compact this down and probably use 2 connectors and make it work. So let me tear all this down and set it up in a way that makes more sense with XNet, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so we moved it over to this corner. It looks a little different, but actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a chest here. And yeah, that should be enough. I don't know if there's another spot I could put that. I guess I could put it up just to be more efficient. I could put it up here. No, I can't. Nope. Come on, jump up on top of that block. There we go. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Then I could just come in here and grab whatever I want. Okay, so that actually consolidated it down pretty reasonably. So basically what I've got is the three fluid extractors here, the block placer facing this way. One connector is actually connecting to both of these. One connector on the bottom here is connecting to all of these on the bottom. And then one advanced connector is connecting all 4 of these up on the top here. And then a cable to connect in the middle there. Okay, so let's take a look here. And first things first is I want to look at taking items from the chest. Let's delete these channels. And start from scratch. Okay, so let's grab the materials that we're going to need. And that is a lot of wood. So this wood is actually going to fuel our entire system. So we're going to put wood in the chest, and from there we're going to get power to fuel everything, and then the extraction from the latex here. Yeah, I think. We're going to find out if this is going to work. Okay, so what I would like to do is this is still, the channel is still considered items, so that's good. We're going to create an extract, Doesn't matter from what direction. We're connected to an advanced connector here, which is why this is available for us. I'm just going to pull out from the downside. Yep, that's what we're connected to, so that's fine. And we're going to pull out oak wood. Okay, so from there, I'm going to put the oak wood into the top of the upside of this one. Okay, and then I'm also going to block placer, place it into here. Okay, I don't think there's anywhere else that I need wood to be placed. Coal generator, no, you can put, okay, good. So let's put wood in here, and that's going to start, and I actually want to change that from single to stack. Okay, so that's going to put a stack in here, and then it's going to put a stack in here. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is create an energy one, and we're going to actually extract the energy from here, from our coal generator. We're going to insert it into here. That's unnecessary. It's redundant, but we're going to insert it into here, and we're going to insert it into here. Okay, so that should give us enough power to run our block placer, which it does. These should start working. They're collecting latex fluid. Okay, so then what I'd like to do is I'd like to create a fluid system. Okay, and we're going to extract from this fluid extractor. We're going to extract from this fluid extractor and this fluid extractor. Okay, so we've got 3 fluid extractors, and we're going to insert into our latex unit. Okay, so that should be running. We do. Okay, and we also want to extract water from this one and put it into there as well. So that should be working. It is. Okay, fantastic. So with one operation, we're able to handle all of our fluids. With one operation, we're handling all of our energy. And so now, the only thing I need to do is work with the furnace. Let's put some charcoal in here. Actually, I'm just going to stick them in there. Okay. So now, let's extract, let's do item. And from here, let's extract out from the downside. Okay, that's going to be our end goal. And we're going to, there's only one thing we're going to be extracting from there. And we're going to insert that into the chest. Or can we go straight for, yeah, we want to put that into the chest. So for now, okay? So that should be filling up with charcoal. Good. Now what I'd like to do is create another one, another logic item. We're going to extract from the chest. We're going to extract specifically charcoal, because we have 2 extraction operations coming out of this chest. We've got one over here for the wood, and if I just said nothing over here, then it would have a chance of pulling that wood out. So I wanted to extract specifically the charcoal, and I want to put the charcoal back into the furnace on any side. Okay, and then I want to also put that into here. Okay, so now with the wood that we have placed everywhere, so let's go grab a lot more wood, because that block placer is going to hold a lot of wood, but we have a sufficient amount of wood for it to hold. Okay, so now this should be able to keep not only our block placer full, but also our furnace. Okay, the furnace is going to make the fuel for the entire system, and this should stay running until we run out of wood. If I wanted to get real fancy with it, I could bring a bonsai tree over here and put that down into another connector, like if I put a connector here, for example, and ran that over there. And then I could put the bonsai on top of a chest here or over here, and that would supply me with an infinite number of wood for this. So now, anytime I need latex, I can just come over here and collect a latex. But this should be a self-running system for our latex, and I don't see any issues. I think we did everything right. It's producing us latex, it's producing us charcoal, and yeah. So that is XNet. That is the power of XNet. Okay, so now we can take that same concept and we can apply it out there. So let me get prepared for that, and we'll be back in a jiff. Well, that's actually going to be it for me today. Gotta head into work, ran out of time. But we are 35 minutes into the video, 36 minutes into the video. So that should probably be it. That'll give you some time to work on your XNet and your systems, and if you have any questions you can call me and that kind of thing. So I will see you in the next one. Take care, man, and everybody else watching. Bye.